going to be the 28th. From Sunday until Thursday, I'll be away. So you might be watching this on a replay, but this is Car Buying Mistakes. I'm the host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. But right now we are live. So what we figured we'd do, just so you'd have, for those of you who want to tap in next week, we're going to replay these shows. You'll see that a lot of people are going to ask the same questions that you have. From being around this industry since 2006, I can tell you, there's only roughly 40, 50 questions tops that anybody could have. So many of you are in the exact same situation. So as you watch the replay, or whether you're watching us live, today is Thursday, May 22nd, you'll be able to get your questions answered, even if you couldn't join the live show. So good to see everybody checking in on TikTok. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as TikTok. Let me just tap in over on Instagram and we can start to get these questions coming in. Now, what we do here is we really show you how the Cars from Home system differs from the normal way you have been taught to buy cars. I see we have someone who's underwater on their loan on TikTok. We'll get to that question. Let me just do some quick housekeeping for about 30 seconds. And everything I'll be teaching you is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. And that's not just our process, it's a mindset. And it's a 7-step system for getting below market deals. I want you to start, if you're really going to save the money, if you're going to learn about where the hidden money is in car deals, and there's hidden money everywhere. Again, I wouldn't know this if I wasn't in the industry. I'm not smarter than any of you. I just was inside the industry for over 14 years, and I still continue to work with the industry, studying the industry and helping people like you buy cars and lease them. And, so from the inside, I can tell you, you're going to discover there's a lot of hidden money you haven't known about. And the way we teach you to get it is by staying at home and creating an online bid. So everything I'll be teaching is outside of my book. It's called Cars from Home. And if you'd like a copy, you can get it. It's normally $97, but as our welcome special, you can get yours for $24, as long as you get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments before the timer hits 0. It's a 2-hour offer. So once you get there, you got everything we'll be teaching and more, because we very rarely have an opportunity to go through everything in our shows. We're here about 90 minutes. So you can feel free to start typing your questions. Good to see you, Shanita. Thank you so much for sending the gifts. Karen Barno, good to see you. Thank you for the sharers. I see everybody sharing. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone who actually shares this show with friends and family, and with your people on your followers and your friends on social media. So Dolan, if you want to bring in the first question, we can do that now. And let's get the show on the road. Okay, underwater on the loan, almost 8,000. First of all, we need to know what the cause is. How do we end up underwater? Let's break it down to the simple. We take out a loan, we're looking to replace a car before the loan's paid off. It's that simple. So now let's diagnose the problem. Why are we looking to replace a car that we still have a loan on? Well, it's usually one of two things. Either the car doesn't fit your life anymore, or you had no plans to keep the car long-term to begin with. Most of the time, it's the last option. People had no plans to keep the car, took out a 5 or 6 or God forbid 7-year loan, no intentions to pay the car off. They're going to trade that car in, replace it in 3 or 4 years. In which case you're throwing money out the window because you haven't learned about leasing. So you have a lease lifestyle. Those of you who don't keep, step 1 in our process is called the 8-year rule. If you break the 8-year rule, there's nothing that I can do to help you save tons of money. You can go and you can get a huge discount off the car you're going to buy. If you're not keeping it for 8 years and you go to replace it, the depreciation is going to kill you. It's going to eat up all the money that we saved. So the 8-year rule is, who's always wanted to know leasing versus buying? Who always wanted to know? Because you may have heard, good to see you, Sunshine. Great to see you on YouTube. Who's always wanted to know? Because you hear the talks. Everybody has a little something to say. In fact, the reason that I came to TikTok is because there was a guy, he had 160,000 followers at the time, older guy, and somebody asked him, could you tell us about leasing? And he said, never lease cars. Always buy your cars. You're going to have they limit you on mileage. You're going to have a ton of fees. Horrible advice. Very costly advice. And I ended up coming to TikTok really shortly after that because I realized that if this is what was out there, then we were certainly in trouble. So leasing is for people who are not keeping their cars 8 years. Now, if you get a bad lease deal, goes out the window, which is why you hear me always say below market. Everything you should be doing, if you're learning from me, you should be thinking below market deals. There's only 3 prices we can pay on any car: below market, market value, above market value. People with no skills, you pay above market value. People with negotiation skills, you go back and forth, you get market value. I'm going to tell you why you don't get below market value, because you don't know the market. The only way you can guarantee you got a below market deal is you have to know the market, which is why my 2 favorite words are multiple offers. So when we're sitting here and we are trying to get you out of this car that you're underwater $8,000 on, first thing we want to look at is how many years are you going to keep the next car? Sometimes it's an emergency. You had a plan to keep the car, you had triplets, car no longer works. Deshone, I'm not breaking the 8-year rule. I'm going to buy something because I'm going to keep it 8 years or more. In which case, forget about leasing. Who's an 8-year or more person? Type me in the comments. You're an 8-year or more person. You are not interested in keeping a car 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. You're an 8-year or more person. Okay, I see you, Jules. I see you, Shanita. I see you, Henry Francis. 8-year or more person. You absolutely will a decade for you is you get a car, you check out for a decade. You're not looking, Miguel, I see you. These are the people who should be purchasing. They should be getting below market purchases or below market used car purchases, depending on their budget and their values. So we teach, think you're out of the woods now. Those of you who you're not getting bids, even when you're purchasing, you are overspending by 4, 5, 6, 8 grand, 10 grand, some of you, depending on the car, because you don't know the market. So somebody tells you they're taking this off, you think it's good, not realizing a dealer 45 minutes away would have took off 4,000 more. Not realizing, there were hidden rebates that you didn't know about because they don't have to advertise those rebates. And so we don't think you're out of the woods because you're not breaking the 8-year rule. But in this case, I need you to understand, the person who asked this question, what's causing you to be upside down? 8 grand. And you need to diagnose that so you don't repeat this again. Now, if you say, Deshone, I'm keeping this car, you go purchase. If you say, Deshone, I'm leasing my next car because I've been breaking the 8-year rule. I always have negative equity. It never fails. Every time I go to replace my car, I'm underwater. That is your symptoms of you not understanding leasing. Okay? And we need to stop that. That's why it's step 1 in our process, the 8-year rule. So those of you who are shopping this now, what I'm doing if I'm you, I'm swapping into a lease. Some of these electric cars, if you start to get bids the way we teach, we do this from home. You don't have to talk. I'm not arming you guys to go in and talk to car dealers who negotiate 3 times a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. Not arming you to go in there and try to remember, what did Deshone say I'm supposed to say? No, everything we do is online, computers, email, copy, paste, back and forth. Now, if you're going to do it your way, you can call around. That's fine too. It's just all up to what you want. If you don't want to talk and you want to do copy and paste, that's the Cars from Home system. If you want to go and you want to talk and you don't mind getting on the phone with people, you call around, get a couple dealerships on the phone and you say, hey, I'm not coming in, but I would like to give you everything you need so that I could get some offers here. And you get an offer because some of these lease offers on these electric cars are amazing. So those of you who are absolutely upside down 8, 10, 15, 20 grand, some of these electric leases over 3 years are absolutely insane. We have people who are leasing cars. Do I have Zafrina up here? Zafrina got a 65. Where's Zafrina? She got a $65,000 Jeep. See, when I put all the new tests, I got to keep some of these old people up, Dolan, because some of those old people have very specific deals. Even though they were on 2024s, I want to keep them up. Now, but you look at somebody who got, let's see, where are 1% leases? See, the key is when you get your lease, here we go, perfect. Now, you got a $51,000 electric vehicle, Val got it. It's a $51,000 vehicle. She got a lease at 1.16. Now she got her bids, 51,000 at 1.16, no money down, is $592 a month on a $51,000 car. So now, in order for you to move, the more negative equity you have, the more you need the discount so that you don't mess up the loan to value ratios when you actually go and put your negative equity on top. So if you're buying a $30,000 electric car and then you try to put $8,000 or $10,000, the bank may not approve it, which is why you must find an electric car or at least something that you can get 8, 10, 15 grand off of it. And the deals are out there. They're out there. So we'll continue to, bring these deals so you guys can see some of these dramatic savings. I mean, Sean got 20 grand off his electric car last year. His F-150 Lightning in the last year, $20,000, almost 21 actually. Some of you know Milligan. I think our biggest success story with Cars from Home has to be Milligan. $79,000 Mercedes-Benz EQE. She saved $28,000 off of it. So I saw somebody who just said they got 20% below sticker. Again, unless you tell me, Deshone, I saw 4, 5, 6 other offers, there's really no way for you to know if did you really get the below market deal. And that's why we continue to wonder every time we drive off the lot. We can't, this is the only way to guarantee that you have paid the best price. You need to see other offers. So start there. And then let's get to some more questions because we got a lot of them coming in. I see you, Henry. I see you. Welcome to our Thursday show, by the way. It's Thursday, May 22nd. I'm away next week from Sunday to Thursday. So I'm going to be replaying these shows all through, the shows we did this week, all through next week. Many of you, you'll see, a lot of you have the same questions. So even if we can't get to your question, oftentimes you hang around for 60, 90 minutes, you'll hear someone ask the exact same question you were going to ask. All right, Dolan, let's bring it in. Okay, good to see you, Sunshine from YouTube. We're back. Okay, I've been following you. Thank you. And I have the book. Thank you. And I thought I had more time, but due to extenuating circumstances, I have to go for it. With the holiday deals, I feel less confident. What holiday deals? Listen, we don't focus on holiday deals. We're knocking down deals like, where's the $9,000 that we just got off on the GV80 Genesis through bidding? Hold on. I'm going to start labeling these because I bought a whole bunch of new testimonials in and they're not labeled. Good Lord. Hold on. I want you guys to see this. See, because I want you to understand something. We're getting deals all the time. There is no time when we're not getting deals. Look at Marie. Some of you who want to look, Marie got $13,000 off her brand new 2025 GLC. But I'm more interested sorry, hold on. Okay. No, all right. I can't find it. I'll just be circling through. I'll just be pulling random testimonials that people send to me that I upload to the show. Here's the thing. Can you throw that back up for me, Dolan, that Sunshine's comment from YouTube? Here's the thing. Let me ask y'all this. Let's say you're selling something. You're selling something. Are you more likely to give a discount on it if no one's really interested in buying it, or if you have 20 people waiting in line to buy it? Nobody or 20 people? When are you more likely to give a discount? I'm going to tell y'all what we used to, I'm going to tell you why you need to ignore the holiday deals. Thank you, Nikki. When nobody's buying. So now, all through the month, dealerships are looking, all right, where's my customers at? Where's my customers at? Where's my customers at? Then they're looking at the last week of May. Oh, well, we know we're going to get a whole bunch of customers come in on Memorial Day weekend. Problem is, we've been taking deals down all month long. Thousands of dollars off, $8,000 off, $5,000 off, $10,000 off, depending on the car. This is what we're doing all month long. Why? Because we're talking to dealers way before there's 200 people coming on a weekend. Why would a dealer give better discounts when there's 200 people in the showroom? They got clowns and makeup and the balloon outside with the arms flapping, sales sign, 8 people waiting for each salesman lined up, people walking out. Hey, you guys need more salespeople. Why would we think we're getting a better discount when the register's ringing? They ringing bells, ding, 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 another sale, ladies and gentlemen. That's our 10th sale for the day. It's only 1 p.m. It's not because we're giving that you catch the 8th of the month when there's only 20 cars out and we need to get 200 out this month. Ooh, all right, we're way behind now. I hope somebody actually gives us an opportunity to sell a car. So that's why it's cars from home. If you're thinking about what's going on in there, then you're not thinking cars from home. We are just opening up. When you get to step 5 in the book, Sunshine, you're contacting 25 dealers in 20 minutes. I have a video that I'll link you to in the book to show you how to reach out to 25 dealers. You use our copy and paste scripts. In 24 hours, you're going to have people in your inbox. In fact, right after that, and then you're using our scripts to continue the conversations with everyone so that you can get out of that 25, you can get your 5 to 7 offers. That's how it look. That's how it's going to look. And it's going to look like this. If you're leasing, it'll look something like this. Here's a lease market report. When you consider, all right, this is an Infinity truck, $61,000 truck. Best offer so far on this market report is $680. Highest offer is $889. So you're going to see as you do this, and again, like I said, if you want to do it your way, you guys want to talk, I'm telling you, my 2 favorite words are multiple offers. If you're like Deshone, I'm going to do it manually. Get your multiple offers. If you're like, hey, can I do it without talking? That's cars from home. We have the process, the system that gets you the multiple offers as you use our scripts to keep these conversations moving forward. Now, once you get your offers, you're going to see at least a $150 to $200 a month spread. And every single time, this is the difference between below market purchases and market value and above market purchases. If you're shopping for a pre-owned car and you don't see a $3,000 to $5,000 difference between the car you picked up and the cars that were out there, you did not get a below market offer. If you are buying a brand new car, buying it, not leasing it, and you don't see a $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 difference between the offer that you accepted and the other offers out there, you did not get a below market offer. If you are leasing and you don't see a $150 to $200 per month difference between the best offer you accept and the other offers out there, you did not get a below market offer. Because that is the numbers. We do this all around the country. We got students, we got people who use our books. That is the numbers. That's why we call these dealers the 80%, who are 80% of dealers are not going to give you a below market offer. It's not going to happen. They would rather sell the car to someone else than to take more money off and be below market. They're not going to do it. And the only way you're going to see that is for you to start getting multiple offers for yourself so that you can experience what we've been experiencing for a very long time. So Sunshine, just focus on Step number 5, hold on, let me follow up with her. Oh yeah, she answered. When trust the plan. Okay, I'm at the request lease quote steps. I will keep pressing. Perfect. Listen, no one's coming into your house and twisting your arm and saying, come into this dealership. Send out your lease, send out your offers. First thing we want to do is find out who has a match. That's it. That's goal number 1. Everyone else is not important. I'm contacting 25 dealers. Again, I show you how to do this in 20 minutes. Once you actually get those offers those people contacting you in your inbox, it's a matter of who has a match. If you don't have a match, I'm not interested, and I'm going to have conversations to see who has a match. And those conversations are all scripts. I mean, what do you see? Tell the people, Sunshine, how many scripts do I link you to in there? When you open up those scripts and those replies, easily what? 20? And then we have scripts before they confirm they have a match. We have scripts after they confirm they have a match and we're requesting a quote. And then we have scripts when we're ready to, send out counter offers. So just follow the process. Be patient with yourself. You can't make a mistake. Only mistake you can make is going into the dealership and getting requests for numbers, because you're going to walk into an 80% dealer. So no matter how much money they take off, they're not going to be what the 20% will be. So trust the process. You'll be perfectly fine. Yep, she said, yep, scripts for every scenario. When can you come in? Script for that. Hey, we only do quotes for people who are inside. Script for that. Hey, I have this car. Does this work? Script for that. It's all conversational because I've been on the other side. So again, those of you who are like Deshone, I like to do that way, that Sunshine's doing. I don't want to do any talking. I like to just be copying and pasting and having conversations that way. That's in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's normally $97. You can grab your copy for $24. That's our welcome offer, 75% off for the next 2 hours. Once that hits 0, goes back to $97. And so you can grab your copy and come on back to the show in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. And as you can see, that'll probably be the most valuable book money-wise you ever have. Top 3. Because Marie, she said she used the guide and she saved $13,000. That's her return on investment. Okay? That's her return on investment. $13,000. And mind you, she's going to get more cars. Her spouse might need a car. Her children might need cars. So this is the gift that keeps on giving. All right, let's go, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. A lot of questions coming in. This is our Thursday show. You might be watching the rebroadcast if it's next week. Right now, you're not watching the rebroadcast because it's Thursday, May 22nd. But I'm away next week, so we're going to replay this show all next week, as well as all the other shows we did this week, so that everyone can get their questions answered while I'm away. Because as I said, most of you have similar questions, and you'll see somebody's going to ask the same question you have. Lady T, good to see you. I have a question. My daughter just did bankruptcy 4 months ago, and they're giving her a hard time about a vehicle. Her bankruptcy was discharged. Well, that's because her credit is probably 0. So even if her bankruptcy is discharged, she has no credit now. So the key with a bankruptcy, from what I've seen people who went through bankruptcy, came out, got their first credit card, began to rebuild their credit very quickly, and within 6 to 12 months, they had a good credit score. But a bankruptcy discharge comes out with a 0 credit. Your credit is blank. They can see a bankruptcy, or they may be able to see the bankruptcy, but they don't see anything that would make them lend you money. So if they don't see anything that's going to make you lend them money, then you're still a risk to them. So what I would do is follow Shonda Martin, Road to 750 Plus. She's awesome. And I would get your daughter set up to, rebuild credit very quickly, because when you're coming from 0, it's very, very easy to actually rebuild. But it's things you need to do. Part of it is actually getting her first credit card, and making sure she's not using it. $10, $20. And again, I don't talk about credit, even though it's a huge part of my business and helping you guys. I leave credit talk to the people who spent years learning credit. And that's why I refer people to Shonda Martin all the time, Road to 750 Plus, because she'll give you things, 1 or 2 tips, like me. You're going to hear, obviously this guy's been in the auto industry. He knows all the hidden tips. He knows where all the hidden money is. Same thing with Shonda. She's been in credit. She knows the regulations. She knows when new laws comes out. She knows all of that stuff. So get with her and then, get your rebuild. Well, your daughter rather. All right. And go ahead, Dolan. And if she needs a vehicle right now, then you got to realize that she's going to pay. I mean, I would always say if you don't have the credit, you should really try to post up. Thanks, Gary and AZ. Good to see you checking in. Gary, you've been here for a long time on TikTok. Great to see you checking in, man. Regular follower, supporter of what we do here. Always a pleasure. You got to realize I want to hold out. I don't want to go into the expensive big purchases when I don't have credit. If I didn't have credit, when I didn't have the credit, what I did, I bought a car cash, and then I bought a buy here, pay here car, very inexpensive. I put $1,500 down. I think the car was like $3,500. I'm not looking to borrow $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 when I don't have the credit. I need something to get me from point A to point B. I'm not ready to walk into a dealership, pay. They're going to overcharge me for the car, and they're going to overcharge me for the interest. And, in my book, I have a strategy called the smart car strategy, saving money at the right time, where we're going to get a loan from a lender who lends with bad credit. You need a lender who's going to lend you the money independent of the dealership. In other words, hey, I see your credit. Yep, I'm going to charge you 19%, 21%. All right, go get a car. I'll lend you $12,000. Somebody like, who do we list in our book? They do a lot of loans with people, international people coming. Man, it's slipping my mind right now. Lord help me. Linbuzz. So we don't leave people with bad credit out to dry. We have several strategies in my book for it. One of them is buy here, pay here. Because again, I did that when I was 21, maybe 20. Great decision. I got a car. It was I think 7 years old at the time. Small car. If you're going out getting big SUVs, again, this is not discipline. Oh, I don't have the credit. I need a huge SUV. No, you need to sacrifice right now, unless you're ready to just get rammed. If you're ready to get rammed, go ahead. Go get a $20,000, $30,000 car that's really, they're going to overcharge you for it, and then pay 22% interest. And then when you come and try to replace it in 2 years, you're buried in it. No, best thing to do is to set yourself up. Get an inexpensive car. If you got a couple dollars cash, $2,000, $3,000, try to find something inexpensive. Get a local mechanic. This is my sacrifice time. I just came out of a bankruptcy. I'm not balling right now. I'm sacrificing and I'm building. Give me a year, 18 months, 2 years. Let me set myself up the right way. Then I'll be able to pull off in a new car if I want to lease it, or go buy me a nice pre-owned car if I'm buying it 8 years. But this is sacrifice time. That's what we teach. Financial discipline. All right. If I'm buying, Gary and AZ, we never focus on local area. It's not even a question. That's the whole car from home system. We turn the whole 100, 200 miles into a big marketplace for us. If I'm buying a used car, and I don't want to go to you, Gary, because it's people who ask a bunch of questions before you. So let me stay orderly. It's good to see you, though. If I'm buying a used vehicle, should I ask for what they paid on the vehicle and negotiate from there? No, who's going to tell you that? This is horrible advice. Hey, what'd you pay for the vehicle? You see that door right there, sir? All right. Don't let it hit you on the way out. That's like, hey, what color underwear does your wife wear? None of your business. See what I'm saying? They're sending. So here's what we do. So being that I already ripped the bad, horrible car buying advice that's out there, like, hey, show me what you paid for this car. Here's what we do. You got to realize there's two types of used cars, people who sell used cars, two types of dealers. One, volume dealers. Volume dealers mark their cars up very small because they want to sell them fast. Think of it like Walmart. Welcome, Alma. Good to see you. New follower, Alma, on TikTok. They want to sell like Walmart. They're not marking their cars up a lot. Because if they mark their cars up, they're going to sit there for 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. Then there's another type who marks their cars all the way up, 5 grand, 7 grand, throws in, you know, $2,000, $3,000 of fake fees, the service plan, the low jacks, the key, all of this fake stuff. And all right, shout out to you. Thank you, Ron the God. Appreciate you sharing the show. And so that's, you got to know, how do we know who we're dealing with? Again, you hear me say that, those two different types of dealerships. What does that sound like when you hear me talk about one dealer who marks their cars up a lot and one dealer who marks them up like this and they want to move them quick, fair prices, quick? What does that sound like when I say, y'all hear me say, who's over here? Who's over here? See, I don't want y'all to think it's just new cars and used cars when y'all hear me talk about this. Who's over here? See if anybody knows. Let's see if anybody knows. I'll tell you, the 80%. The 80%. I continually want you to burn that into your head. 80% of dealers are overpriced. They're never going to give me a below market offer. It's their business model. New cars, used cars. So I told y'all, when you're shopping for your new cars, you're going to see a $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 difference, depending on the car, between the offer you accept and the highest offer. On used cars, you're going to see similar things, 3 to 5 grand. You're going to see. So now you got to know, who am I buying from? The 80% want me to come in, get 2,000 off, go to battle with them, think I won, but I still didn't win because they got fake fees. And what they did is you marked your car up $4,000, then you threw another $2,000 of fake fees on top. Now you took off $2,500 for me. You see what I'm saying? Did I win or did I lose? You marked your car up $4,000. Then you threw $2,000 in fake fees on top. So I come in, you take off $2,500 to make me feel like I got something. But did I win or lose? I really only got $500 off an already marked up car. Thank you, Joe. So that's the key, is who am I? Your whole mission should be, I got to get to the 20%. I hear Deshone talk about the 20%. When you see me show people who, hey, listen, I had my Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited delivered after following your advice and cars from home. Didn't have to go to the dealership at all. Almost everything done by email. Great advice. Made the car leasing experience fun. Why? Because I'm sitting at home. I'm getting multiple offers. I'm exposing the 80%, finding the 20%. Look, thank you, Deshone the 18. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the least I can say for your book. Look, cars from home. We're in the middle of the process. Just sold our car today, like 10 minutes ago, for 30% above value based on the insights from your book. Now, how does he sell his car for 30% above the value? Multiple offers, bids. So the only way I want you to lock this in your mind. And a couple of you are focused. If you're focused, let me know you're focused. Type a $sign. Some of you, you're distracted. We're talking about huge money here. You hear me throwing out these big numbers and said 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. You hear me throwing out these big numbers. I want you to hold me to them. I'm not just saying these numbers because I'm just, let me throw out some big numbers. And no, you hold me to them, but you're not going to get 3, 5, 10 grand off cars and win when you're over here cooking while we're talking big money. So your mission is to find the 20%. And you find the 20% from home. I'm going to give you a simple comparison to let you know how if you just change the mindset, your life's going to change when it comes to these cars. Think about where you find your best deals at on TVs. Think about some of you who you might go in the store and you see, okay, this spaghetti sauce is normally $6.99. But another store over here, different store, same exact spaghetti sauce is $2.99. Same exact spaghetti sauce. What would you say as you're buying the spaghetti sauce? You're making a big pot. You need 3 of them, 4 of them. What would you say to somebody who's buying the exact same spaghetti sauce? Not a premium version. They're just in a different store that is selling it for more money. And they got 4 spaghetti sauces, $7 a piece. They paid $28. You got 4 spaghetti sauces. You paid $3 a piece. You paid $12. You would probably say, hey, listen, if they didn't know. They didn't know. Sucks for them. That's how we feel about you guys with cars. No offense. I got to just give you the cough syrup. It doesn't taste good. But if you come over to this side where we're talking about, you'll see. I've been paying full price for spaghetti sauce, and I walk into the store and they convince me that all the stores are priced like this, when they're not. So it's the key about it is you shouldn't be negotiating. When it comes to used cars, you should be finding your used cars online, opening up all the marketplaces. By the time you go to drive to that dealer, you should already know this is the best price in the market. I've already verified there's no fake fees on top. I've already verified what the brand new price of it is to find out how much discount I'm getting. If I'm looking at a used car and it's $22,000, and then I'm looking at another used car and it's $23,000, they're both my color, black. They both have similar miles on them. Wouldn't it be helpful to know that this particular car that is 22, originally it was 35? This car over here that's 23, originally it was 41. Sometimes you can't see that. And it's not always that different, but when I got my truck, it was that different. I looked at 4 Infinities, narrowed it down, 4 white trucks. They all had similar miles, 30,000 to 31,000, 31, 32,000. I pulled the original price of them, and I found out one was 46 new, one was 48 new, one was 52, and one was 54. The one I got was 54,000 brand new, biggest discount. This is all stuff I lay out for you in my book. There's a reason when you go to Goodreads.com, you type in cars from home, you look at those reviews, look at those ratings, see what people are saying. You read what people are saying about this book. Just finalized my first lease ever using your system, 2025 Honda HR-V, 30,505, $395 a month. 12,000 miles, no money down. And for those of you who drive more miles, I have high mileage lease lease path in there. But none of this is chance. So understand, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to start to shop and expose the 80% that have been putting you in car deals, and you drive off and you're like, all right, I hope I did all right. Hey, you think you got a good deal? I think so. I think so. Would you put money on it? What do you mean? Would you bet $1,000 that you got a good deal? Oh no. What type of position is that? You just spent 30 grand of your money, 50 grand, and you're driving off, already having buyer's remorse. So, that's my mission. I want to eliminate oppression in the auto industry, but it takes two. It takes two. The dealers will participate. The 20% will participate. They're waiting for you to find them. It takes you to unlearn what you've been taught and do it different and do things differently. And then it'll become your new normal, and you'll be like, oh, shoot, I'm never going back. Never going back to the old way of buying cars. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Let's go. For those of you who are like Deshone, where can I get the book? It's in my TikTok bio. It's in my Instagram bio. It's in the Facebook comments. It's in the YouTube comments. Click those links. It's normally $97, but it's part of our welcome offer. You got it for 75% off, $24 for the next 2 hours. And if you've been there, that timer goes down. Once that timer hits 0, top price goes back up to $97, which is still an incredible deal because you'll use this over and over and over again every time you buy a car. You're saving, your return on the investment for that book just continues to multiply. All right, go ahead. Let's go, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. What's your opinion on BMW X3 versus Lexus RX 350? So here's the thing. I remember when I was at Mercedes, I sold this green car. It was like, it looked like a spaceship green. I would never drove it. Woman loved it. Why do they make cars that are different? Because everyone's opinion on cars is absolutely different. So personally, if you're asking me what I like, good, that doesn't matter. Here's what you need to know. If anybody who's asking, Deshone, hey, what about this car versus this car? It's only two things that matter. You need to go drive them. In my book, I tell you how to set up a test drive. You need to call specific. Don't just walk in. Who's walked in for a test drive and it wasn't pleasant? Who's walked in and like, oh, all right, I think I have one. All right, let me go. And they got you waiting. You've been waiting 20 minutes. Hey, you being helped? Yeah, the guy Joe said he was going to look for a car to see if I could test drive one. I don't know where he's at, but that's not the way we want to test drive. You want to schedule your test drives. You call the dealership. Hey, who's the salesman in there that everybody loves? Oh, well, that would be me. So now they have something to actually, they have a standard that they've set. Now, sometimes it's the receptionist and he'll say, I don't know. I don't really know. Everybody in here is nice. All right, let me ask you, who's been there the longest? And just everybody loves them. Probably Bill. Okay, Bill has a reputation to protect. All right, can I speak to Bill, please? All right, yeah, sure. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I'm looking at the car. I'm undecided, but I really want to test drive this car real quick. Won't be long, 15, 20 minutes. And do you have one? Can you check and see if you have one? Bill goes out, he checks. Yes, I have the car. All right, perfect. Your test drive is a presentation. It's not you going in to buy. This is why in my book I have something called shopping, not buying. This is step 4 of our 7-step process. Shopping, not buying. So the first thing you want to do is test drive these cars. Now let's just say, and quite honestly, I put this before the test drive because in my book we do this before the test drive. You go to Google, you type in the year, you type in the model, and you type in initial quality. That's going to tell you what the data is saying the first 90 days. That's initial quality. What are people saying about the car first 90 days? You type in, after you skim that, all I do is skim Google. That's it. Skim it. Do I see any red flags, any articles? Don't read articles from the dealership. What I mean is, or the brand. You'll see Motor Trend, you'll see Car and Driver, look at third-party sites and just look. Do you see lower than normal reliability? You see drivers report electric issues? Do you see anything that's like, okay, that's a little red flag there? Thanks, Latrice. See, because when I was at Mercedes, we had a Range Rover dealer right next door owned by the same brand. People pulling out in Range Rovers, 2010, 11, 12. Range Rovers, that Range Rover, this is great. In the shop in 90 days. Lights going off like a Christmas tree. That's initial quality. That's reliability. So once you do that, now if you're buying them to keep, you're not going to break the 8-year rule. Deshone, I'm not leasing. I'm keeping this thing 8 years or more. Now you're going to check longevity. BMW X3, longevity. See what it says. Are these cars expected to last? Do these cars have issues in the long term? And that's how you make sure. This is what I call checking the DNA of the car. This has nothing to do with, you could buy a car that was taken care of. With our used car system, we always check accident records. We always check service records. Most important thing is service records. But if the car has bad DNA, it was made and it has electric problems. It was made with a bad transmission. It was made with a faulty steering system. No amount of maintenance or care is going to guarantee you don't have those issues come up. So again, all of these things I'm telling you guys takes 5 to 7 minutes to do. 10 minutes max if you're slow. We're not going to car buying school here. My mission is to get you to your cars below market deals over and over and over as quick as possible. If you need a car in 2 days, 3 days, step, 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 step. It's a checklist. Check this off, check this off, check this off. Step 7, we're taking delivery. But if you skip these steps, you are skipping vital, important steps that could result in you either overpaying or having a bad car. So that's why I say, run the DNA, go test drive them. And then if you say, Deshone, I like them both, if you're purchasing them, get offers on both of them. Get multiple offers. We got people that do that. They shop 2 cars at once. They want to see what's the better lease program. Which one's going to give me a better deal? Do that. But that's what I would do to make, that's clarity. You see what I'm saying? You see how we operate with a plan? I just gave you 3 things to do. Go to Google, make sure these cars don't have bad DNA, test drive them the way I just told you to set up, find Bill over there, get your test drive done in 20 minutes, take a card, leave, do not sit down and talk numbers. We never talk numbers in the dealership. Cars from home, not the dealership. So go test drive and then you come home. And if you want to shop them both, you shop them both. Or if you narrow it down, some people will test drive the car and find out the car they thought they liked, they don't like. I remember we had this one young lady, she worked with us and she was like, man, she was in love with the Honda CR-V hybrid. And when she went to drive it, she didn't like the way it drove. Or maybe she decided on the CR-V hybrid. I don't remember. This is going back 2 years. But this is because some of you are scared to go test drive because you don't want to get, oh, I don't want to end up buying. Then just don't buy. Remember the rule. Step 4, shopping, not buying. Shopping is deciding what you want. That's deciding what you want is shopping. In our book, in Cars from Home. Deciding what you want. Hey, Sonia. So did you enjoy the test drive? Yeah, I enjoyed it. But I'm still deciding what I want. Let me get your card. If I decide this is what I want, I'll certainly reach out. Oh, you don't want to talk numbers? No, I'm still deciding what I want. I don't even know if this is what I want yet. You see what I'm saying? The only way you're sitting down to talk numbers is if you've decided this is what I want. And some of you sit down and talk. You should never be sitting down. If I had it my way, I snap my finger, I'd remove every chair from the dealerships. Because every time you walked in, you would be like, oh, there's no chairs in this dealership. I know why. Deshone said never sit down. Waiting for your test drive. Hey, would you like to have a seat at the desk? No, thanks. I'm just going to walk around. Coming back from the test drive. Hey, have a seat at the desk. No, that's okay. I'm just going to walk around. You know what I'm saying? Once you sit down, you've let them know that I could be interested. No, I'm here to test drive and get out of here. All right, so that's your steps. Let's go, Dolan. Next question. Thank you, Lord Museum. Vampire King got the number 3 gifter badge. Latrice got the number 2 gifter badge. Thank you so much. I just leased a Toyota Land Cruiser for $641, $2K down, $5K equity, previous car. Okay, all right. See, here's the thing. Who paid you the equity? Who paid you the equity? Now, some of you who didn't know you could sell a lease. It's a lot of people on here who did not know that you could actually sell a lease, that a lease could have equity and you could sell it. Type me. Who paid you the equity for the lease? Okay, yep, we're going to talk about that because we said leases can have equity and it could be, it's nothing like driving a car for 3 years and then getting money back, like a rebate. See, here's the reason. That sounds good. If a person just says, But here's the reason why I don't know if this person used what I teach, which means I don't know if it could have been way better. It could have been way better. See, he said I leased a Toyota Land Cruiser, 641, 2,000 down, 5,000 equity in the previous car. Here's what I'm listening for. How many offers did you get? Was this the best offer? Who paid you the equity? Did you go into the dealership and they said, hey, we giving you 5,000 back for your equity? Or did you get multiple offers from CarMax? Here's what you guys do right now. Everyone who has a car right now, and you're thinking of replacing it, you have a lease right now. It's coming due in the next 6 months or 3 months or, less than 6 months. You call your bank. If it's paid off, you don't need to call the bank. You get your payoff from the bank or the leasing company. And then you go to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, Car Gurus. These are in my book. This is how we get bids because we don't trade. So the reason why this could be a overpriced deal. This could be a bad deal. I'm not in the business of telling people you got a bad deal. I'm just in the business of telling you there's no way for you to know this was a good deal because you didn't have offers. So if you had multiple offers, so here's how it would have looked. Example, I just leased a Toyota Land Cruiser. I got 7 offers. Another reason why I think this person didn't use what we teach is because they didn't list a percentage. Whenever we talk about leases, look at my people. Look, first ever lease, 1.2% ratio. Hold on. Let me find another one. Reached out to 20 dealers, 9 offers, 36 months, 12K. Hold on. Where's the percentage? This is a smaller one. 1.4%, because he got a new 2026. He got a 2026 GV70. He didn't want the 2025 because we're getting 2025 now for like 1.1, 1.2. And he got a 1.4 because he was, he wanted the new one that was just coming out. So look at Rosalie. Got 3 cars using the Shop with Deshone system. Cars from home, Shop with Deshone, 36,000 miles, $36,000 car, 1.09% lease. That means your lease payment is 1% of the MSRP. $30,000 car, $300 a month. $40,000 car, $400 a month. No money down. Look, she got 3 vehicles for her sons. $28,000 car, $339 a month. That's a 1.2% lease. $40,000 car, $420, 1.1% lease. And look how she talks about her equity. Similar to what this gentleman or this woman said, but I want you to hear the difference, to hear that even if any of my students, if you had my book and you had gotten your car using what we teach, or if you went through our Shop with Deshone video checklist, or you would be like, well, there's something missing here. There's information missing, so we can't really tell him if he got a good deal or not. And that's the set. Look at her. I sold 2 leases to We Buy Any Car and walked away with $6,700. So she got bids. She gets her best offers. She doesn't have to, and she knows the percentage. Right now, what if your Toyota lease could have been $541? We have no idea. The only way you would know that is if you talk to multiple Toyota dealers. You could do it your way manually, or you could do it our way from home by email. But this is what I'm saying. I'm not here to rain on your parade. I'm here to let you know what you just typed to me is buyer's remorse. A little bit of it. Because what you really were asking, is this a good deal? That's what you were really asking. I just leased this 641, 2 grand down, 5K previous. How do we do? So I cannot tell you how you did because you have not you get cars the same way everyone else does. No bids, no other offers, no way to know, hey, what if I could have got 8 grand equity for my car? This is what most people are doing. And again, I know it sounds like bad news when you come here, but I want you getting to where Rosalie is. I want you getting to where Frank is. I want you getting to where, look, Chad is. All of these people on the screen. Val is. Ken. Show these people all day. Sheree. Sheree's got 4 cars with me since she started with me in 2022. Look. Jen. We do all day long. Alex. They break down their entire deal. They ain't car salesmen like I was. How could these people come in and they post the car and they break down their whole deal? It's because I walk them through how to understand what they're doing. Not just, hey, here's the number. So how much did I have to put down? 2,000. All right, what's my payment? This. All right, and then how's my equity? 5. We're giving you that back. No, bid out the equity. What if CarMax would have paid you 2 grand more? Carvana, AutoNation, you have no idea. This is why, at best, this is a market value deal. And what really bothers me about this is the fact they send you let them put you in a position to have buyer's remorse. You go out and you make these $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 transactions. You would never spend this type of money without wise counsel on any other item in this world, that you would go out and spend $30,000 to $100,000 without wise counsel. You would never do it. But you go in, you make these deals, and you come out already having buyer's remorse, really unsure about if I really got the best deal. Was there a dealer within 100 miles of me that would have made me a much better deal than this? That is buyer's remorse. So we want to eliminate that. And once you start using cars from home, you will eliminate that. But you have to be tired of the buyer's remorse. I've been tired of it. That's why I'm on TikTok making videos and doing live shows. I'm tired of you guys having buyer's remorse. Are you tired of it? All right, let's go, Dolan. Next question, brother. All right. How can I learn more about your strategy? This is my first time on your platform. Who's the first time here? Type number 1 if this is your first time on the show. You've never been on one of our shows before. Type number 1. I just want to give a shout out to the first time people. First time you ever seen me, you don't know who the heck is this guy. What is this unlearn, relearn? Nothing. Welcome, Latrice. Great to see you. Welcome. First time. Good to see you, YT. This is, by the way, our Thursday, May 22nd live. We are absolutely live, and you may be watching us on a replay because I'm away next week from Sunday till Thursday. So I'm going to just replay a lot of these shows that we did this week. You'll see them next week. But as for right now, we are live. Good to see you, YT. Welcome. So first time people, we teach a strategy called the Cars from Home process. It's a 7-step process. You can have it in book form. If you can piece it together, you can get it from my social media videos, because I put out social media videos and everything I put out is from my book. It's a digital book, so you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for it to be in the mail. You don't have to worry about websites changing. Oh, the website's changed, so therefore we got to put a new book out now. You know, last year Vroom went out of business, so we had to update the book because Vroom went out of business. We went right in, updated the master copy. It's a digital book. We opened it up. There's no room. So here's I just noticed we got May 18th on Instagram. So here's anyway, I'm sorry, that threw me off. So what we want to know is, what's your learning style? If you can follow a step-by-step blueprint, that's my book. You go to goodreads.com, you type in cars from home, you'll see tons of ratings. We're rated 5 stars. You'll see people who wrote reviews about the book, read their reviews. And of course, I get people who email me all the time about the book. But that's a 7-step process. You just follow it, and it's for everyone. No matter what your path, no matter what you're doing, everything is in that book. Whether you're a used car person, new car person, you don't even know what type of person you are. You don't know if you're buying or leasing. I teach you how to determine that in step 1. You need to know whether you're going to buy or lease before you ever go out and try to get a car. So buying versus leasing, I teach. Just everything's in there. Below market used cars, purchases, new cars, leases, high mileage drivers. Some of you, we haven't really talked about those, any of you high mileage drivers on the show today. Nobody really asked a question about that so far. But those of you who are driving 18, 20, 25,000 miles per year, you need very different advice and strategies than the average driver. Those of you who have bad credit, you need different strategies than good credit people. So that's all in there. So normally the book's $97. You can get your copy for $24. That's our welcome offer. It lasts for 2 hours. Anytime, once you visit the site, you'll see the timer start to, click down. And you can grab your copy in my TikTok bio. It's a link there. It's in my Instagram bio. There's a link, YouTube comments or the Facebook comments. And you'll have our process. Now, there's other ways you want to learn. We have those too. We have video checklists where you work with me. I make videos. I've already laid out a video. 2,300 people have gone through our video processes. And I coach with them. And, that's their learning style. They like a group. We have a private Facebook group. They kind of like support. They don't, community. And again, the key is to understand this, guys. Hold me accountable to the return. See, poor people think about cost. People who are financially savvy think about value. Unfortunately, I do understand that the economy is tough. I understand that. I also hold myself to a high degree of accountability concerning the return, which is the value. So you think somebody like Marie, who got my book and who got $13,000 off of her GLC, we didn't even talk about the bank bidding war. She used that to make sure she gets the best loan. We didn't talk about her bidding out her old car to make sure she's not leaving any money on the table, trading it. She just, in her mind, let me tell Deshone about the biggest win. I got $13,000 off. So unfortunately, that's why I said you have to be ready to change. The system is proven. System's proven. You can do it. It's a simple step-by-step process. So it's just you have to be ready to come out of this programming that, unfortunately, they've been programming you guys for a very long time. They've been programming you guys to walk into dealerships no matter what. You hate it, you're going to walk in. I cannot stand this process, I'm going to walk in. That is programming. I know that this is a terrible problem. Listen, Memorial Day deals, commercials. Even when I get the commercial, it's still a horrible. That's what you call a program. So that's why that's why I represent unlearn, relearn. So, but I want you guys writing me. I want you writing me, YT, Latrice, your car deals. And if you can't write me your car deals, then that means you don't feel proud about the car deal you got. When you're in my inbox, Deshone, check this out. Man, I just pulled this out. Good. I just got $7,000 off, man. I got 8 offers. I sat right here, did the whole thing by email. Congratulations, bro. You won. You won. Everybody else, I'm sorry. You're not winning. So, and the only way you should feel bad about that is if you're staying over there. See, if I'm inviting you to a winning team, like you get recruited to come, yo, we're winning over here. Big wins, never lost. Never lost. Undefeated. Best car shoppers in the world. I would put Rosalie I will put Rosalie and some grandmothers that have our system, that use our system, got 2-3 cars. These people are grandmothers. I will put them against give them the best negotiator in the world. You give me somebody who negotiates every day for a living, Rosalie will crush them because she's going to stay at home and she's going to talk to more dealers than they could ever talk to in a matter of minutes. So we're the best in the world. We're inviting you to the winning team and we're telling you, y'all over there losing. You could get offended if I wasn't inviting you to the winning team. If I'm just like, hey, man, y'all losing out there, man. Whew, we doing so good over here. It must be nice to be a winner. Oh, shoot, how does losing feel? How does leaving cars with... That'd be different if I'm not giving you the way in. Hey, I'm giving you the olive branch. Come on over here. $24. Get your book. Hey, come on over here. Cars from Home. Shop with Deshone. Hey, come on over here. Start with our free cheat sheets. Come into our world. But I'm not going to invite you to our world and then act like you're winning too. That just would be disingenuous. Trying to get a used 2017 RX 350, but I owe $7,000 on my 2013 Ford. You should be leasing. You're buying cars that you're not keeping. You're not paying them off. You should be leasing. You're talking about going from a used car to another used car. Why aren't you leasing? Why aren't we leasing? I'd love to hear the answer. I don't know how fast you could type, YT, but since you're new to the show, I'd love to hear your answer. Why aren't we leasing? I mean, let me tell y'all what just happened yesterday. Y'all remember, if some of you were on the show earlier, maybe a month ago, not even, maybe 3 weeks ago. You remember I told you about my daughter, my niece, and my payment would be too high and I'm a single parent. Your payment would be too, let me finish my story. Okay. Let me finish my story. First of all, you're talking about buying a 2017 Lexus. And you're talking about a high payment, but we're talking about buying a 2017 Lexus, not a 2017 Toyota Corolla, not a 2017 Honda Civic, 2017 Lexus. A Lexus. But we're talking about payments being high on a lease. What do you expect your payment to be, YT? Don't let me forget to tell y'all about what happened yesterday with my niece. YT lease brand new. $400. Okay, $400. $400 is going to get you a $20,000 car. That's alone, $20,000. So now my niece, I keep saying my niece, my lease. So, all right, so last month, my niece, my daughter, and then a young man, he's like a nephew to me. They all reach out to me. Probably the last 2 months, 2 months ago, something. They reach out to me. They all need cars separately. My daughter's getting her license in next month. My niece is 20. She's already had her license, but she hasn't needed her own car. Now she needs it. She's 20. And then there's a young man who's like a nephew to me. He's 20, and he needs a car, but he's in the Navy. So I asked him. I said, "How long you guys gonna keep the car?" I asked them at all three of them. You gonna keep it 8 years? No. You're gonna be making more money. Family's gonna change. Lifestyle's gonna change. Okay, so if you're not gonna keep it 8 years, you're gonna throw money out the window trying to purchase a car. You should be leasing. You should be shopping. Now, I don't know when I don't know if we don't go by commercials. I have never looked at a lease commercial and cared what the heck it said. When you see the lease deals that we're getting, they are nowhere near what the commercial said. Look, Glenn got his Q8, 1.4% lease. Highest quotes was 1.8% lease. When he when he looks at his lease and looks at the commercial that says you can lease this for $700 a month with $4,000 out of pocket plus taxes, that ain't what I paid. We don't pay attention to commercials. So anyway, my niece is first up. She calls me last Wednesday. She says, no, 2 weeks ago. She said, I'd like to go test drive the Hyundai Sonata. I think I like that. I said, okay, well, you want to have a couple choices. I said, it's best if you could have, at least two to see which one has, just in case the first one has a bad lease program on it. So she says, okay, well, I also like the Nissan that my mother has. I said, okay, that's a good second choice. So she goes, she test drives I said, how much can you afford a month? She said, like $350. Okay, perfect. She goes, she test drives the car. She says, I like the car. We get multiple offers for her starting Thursday. By Saturday, her best offer came in. It was $310 a month. No money down. 12,000 miles per year. Brand new $28,000 Hyundai. Now, she had offers of $450. So some of you be like, Deshone, I went in, the dealer told me $450, 80% dealer. That's the 80%. Welcome to the 80%. That's your introduction to them. $290. Now, I said, how many miles you need? Yeah, I only work like 3 miles from work. Okay, you need 10,000 miles. That'll be good. 10,000 miles a year, that'll get you to work. You can take a couple trips, a couple times a year. You want to take a trip, drive down south, you can do that. 10,000 miles a year is just fine. You're only going to put 3 miles, 6 miles a day on your car, going back and forth to work. So she adjusted it. We adjusted it from 310 down to 295. I think it was 313 originally. 295. 295. $28,000 car. She's driving it. Want to see the picture? That's her. 20 years old. Brand new lease. $295 a month. Look. Look, when was that? Yesterday. 20 years old. Brand new car. Most of you would have went out and bought a used car. So you're talking about payments, YT. But will it at least be a good option for me? I drive a lot during courier service. So get more miles. Get more miles. I told you I adjusted her miles down because she only needed 10,000 miles a year. You might need 15. And if you're driving for work, then you should be making money. I'm telling y'all, man, these people who told y'all about leasing, they owe y'all money. They owe y'all money. Dave Ramsey, he owes millions of people money. If I got 10 minutes, that's all I would need. If I got 10 minutes, I don't think I would need more than that. And again, I give credit to Dave when it comes to helping people invest in the stock market, mutual funds, pay off debt. Great job, Dave. One of the best in the world. When it comes to these cars, you have ruined people. You've ruined people. Leasing is the most expensive way to own a car. Ruined people. Now, thank God, we've been out here for 3-4 years showing the numbers, showing the data, and showing, you're getting bad lease deals, and you're telling people don't lease because you got a bad lease deal. You're blaming the lease. You went out, signed the lease, knowing you drive 17,000 miles a year. You took a 10,000 mile a year lease, and then you went over by 7,000 miles every year, 21,000, and they billed you for the additional mileage, and you told people don't lease because you didn't get the mileage you needed on the lease. And you out here saying never lease a car. These people owe you money. They have cost you so much money and experience. And the experience of driving a new car, being dependent. You got cars that are breaking down. Every time your car breaks down, and I'm not talking to the people who Or again, raise your hand, the 8+ year people. Raise your hand so we can let everyone know we're not talking to them. The 8+ year people, tap back in. Because we asked earlier who keeps their cars 8 years or more. We got a bunch of people raise their hands. Not even thinking about leasing. It's a certain car that I want to buy in the future. I'm not going to think about leasing it because I know I'm keeping it for 10 years. But when it comes to you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you are breaking the 8-year rule over and over and over again. And every time you're out there and your car is breaking down after 6 years, or you got to come in and you got to do maintenance, or you got to go and you got to change tires, and you got to go and you got to change your air filtration system, and all of this maintenance that's necessary when you buy these cars, and then you go and you just swap it out, do it again. Sometimes you don't even pay off the loan. You could be driving way better cars, brand new cars, way less money than you're paying them if you just understand two things: leasing and how to get below market leasing. You cannot just walk into a dealership. Hey, I love this guy, Deshone, the auto advisor, told me, man, I want to lease. If you've been an 80% dealer, they'll tell you, the leases are high. 80% dealers, they ain't going to make you ain't going to get no good deal. And then it's going to be like, hey, I thought these numbers don't look like the numbers Deshone was saying his people getting, because they're not. Only way you're going to get the numbers that we're getting is if you stay at home, call around to get offers, or you stay at home and use our system to email to get offers. That's the only way. Forget about getting the offers we're getting. If you just say, oh, I just want to walk in and see, maybe I can get one of those deals Deshone be talking about that he be showing on his show. No, you're going to walk into an 80% dealer. All right, let me just read these comments before we go to the next question, Dolan. Hold on. But will at least be good options, Corey Sirs? Yes. Oh, thank you for the gift. You got the number 3 gifted badge, YT. Thank you. So does it cost more to get extra miles for a leased vehicle? Absolutely. But so check this out. So let's say, like my niece, she got her Hyundai Sonata. She's paying $295 a month. I told you, had she drove 12,000 miles per year, she would be paying $313. Now let's say she wanted to drive 15,000 miles a year. That's about $30 more. So from $313, $343. Now let's say she wanted to drive 18,000 miles a year, from $343 to probably $380. But she's driving $390, but she's driving 18,000 miles a year. You get what I'm saying? So the key is you shop, you get your best offer, you find the dealer that's going to make you the best offer, who wins the bid, and then you add your mileage with them. Hey, I know you're at $295, but what would my payment be at 18,000 miles per year? Okay, it's going to be, $100 more, $90 more. Okay, perfect. And you get the miles you need. Because here's the thing. You've been lied to in thinking that you can drive cars. If you buy a car right now and it has, let's say you pay $20,000 for it. Now you go and you put 20,000 miles a year on that car. Well, doesn't your value of your car go down way faster than someone who doesn't drive as much as you? See, people have been taught, oh, well, I buy my car so I can drive as much as I want to drive. You tell that if you bought a car for $35,000 and then you put 30,000 miles on it, and then you compare it to a person who paid the same, but they only put 7,000 miles on it. When y'all come back in a year, your car is worth a whole lot less. Your car is probably worth 5,000, 7,000 less because of the mileage you put on it. So you're not getting away with it. It's just you're not seeing the depreciation. You're not seeing, oh, I'm paying for it. It's just coming out of my car's value. And then you have your loan there and you think, wow, well, I'm not feeling it in my loan. No, you're not, because your loan is just your payment. That has nothing to do with the value of your car. It's the value of your car that's going down based on the way you drive. That's where you're paying at. See, you're not looking, you're like, well, Deshone, I'm paying $375 a month. I don't get how, see, but now how'd you start the question? You started the question saying, I have negative equity. You started the question saying, look, I owe $7,000 on my 2013 Ford. Now, depending on how many miles you got on it, you might not have negative equity, but I know you still have a payment. But depending on the miles, if you got a lot of miles on that car, you do have negative equity, which means my payment is good. I could afford the payment. How do I end up with negative equity, which now I have to carry over to my new car? So when I get my new car, they could tell me, all right, good news, YT, we got you to $350 a month. Oh, that's good, perfect. But the bad news is when we add your negative equity of $5,000, your payment goes from $350 to $440. Oh man, that's because the decisions from the past just came back now. Just came back now. See, because it's not the payment. The payment is what you can afford. What you're not realizing is you're destroying the value of your car with the mileage you drive, and you're thinking, I'm getting away because I bought my car so I could drive as much as I want. No, you cannot. Not when you got a loan on it, and you're going to be replacing it in the short term before you even pay off the loan. So now it comes back to you. Hey, here I am. Here is the decision. Here's the results of not leasing. Here's the results of thinking that you can drive as much as you want because your loan wasn't moving. But your value of your car was dropping drastically. So yes, you're going to pay for the mileage whether you buy or lease. Does not matter. You pay for your mileage whether you buy or lease. That is called depreciation. You drive more, you depreciate more, you pay more from your value. You drive more on a lease, you're going to pay up front though. What I love about leasing, when you're, again, only for people not keeping their cars 8 years, is we know what we're paying for depreciation. And the way I found this out is when I was a manager at Hyundai and that gentleman came and he was returning his lease and he had 72,000 miles on the car. And I said, what the heck is this? You leased this? He said, yeah, listen, I always lease. He was in sales. He said, I'm in sales. I'm always on the road. I used to buy my cars. I always had negative equity. I always had to put a ton of money down. I never got that money back. I started leasing, and I do a 25,000 mile a year lease. And when I looked at his payment, think about it was similar. Look at my niece. 295 is 10,000 miles per year. 313 is 12,000 miles per year. 343 is 15,000 miles a year. 390 is 18,000 miles a year. If she wanted to go 25,000 miles a year, she'd probably be at 450, 460. So from 295 to 450, it's only about 160 bucks a month, but she's driving 25,000 miles a year now. So for an additional $160 a month times 36 months, so for an additional $5,700, I get to now go and drive 25,000 miles per year. Whereas if you bought that car and then put 75,000 miles on it in 3 years, it's worthless. You probably got $20,000 of negative equity. That's what it's about. What about if we crash it? All right. So all of this is laid out in my digital book, Cars from Home. Everything I'm teaching is out of Cars from Home. None of this is I'm not winging any of this because I don't want you winging the car buying process. That's why we wrote a 7-step book that walks you through the car buying and leasing process, that walks you through everything we talk about here in a blueprint that you can just follow, check off, and get to your ride, get to your below market deal. Structure your deals correctly. So it's normally $97, but our welcome offer to you is $24 if you get to my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, Facebook comments, YouTube comments. You can get yours for $24. It'll be in your inbox 2-3 minutes, and you'll have everything we teach forever. You can do this over and over and over again. And the thing is, it's leasing in there, it's purchasing in there. I mean, I again, below market. Because I think everything below market, if you're not, like I said, $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 from what other people are paying, then you're not getting below market. And when I say 7,000, some of these cars, you're going to see the savings are much more dramatic. Much more dramatic. And we never know what they're going to be. Could be a $51,000 electric vehicle that the below market offer on that is $17,000 off. You think you got, you're going home raving to your wife. Hey, you guess how much they took off for me? $8,000. Okay, but the below market deal was $16,000 off. So are you going to feel as excited telling your wife, hey, I left $7,000 on the table because I didn't, multiple offers. It's my two favorite words. If my shirt didn't say unlearn, relearn, it would say multiple offers. I love it. My two favorite. It's how we buy everything else in life except cars. You buy everything else in life with multiple offers. Houses, groceries, TVs, electronics, everything else. Cars. See, think about that. Yeah, is that true or true? Everything else in life you buy is multiple offers. Multiple people presenting prices to you. You want a TV right now. Why can any of you go and buy a 90-inch TV? If we said, go buy a 90-inch TV, make sure you don't overpay. Is anybody worried about overpaying for a TV? 90-inch, 120-inch. Screen take up the whole wall. Anybody worried about overpaying for that? Anybody worried about getting, thank you, Dak, I like that. Multiple offers equals leverage. We call that one to many. You can negotiate 1-to-1, no leverage. You can negotiate 1 to many. Leverage shifts the scale to your favor. I'm going to get a better offer because they're not just negotiating with me, they're negotiating with each other too. No one's worried about a 90-inch TV, a 100-inch TV. Why? Because you know exactly where to go. I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to Amazon, I'm going to this, I'm going to these 4 websites, and then in 20 minutes, boom, I bought the TV. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The confidence comes from multiple offers. Buyer's remorse comes from one offer, maybe 2. Buyer's remorse. If you walked into Walmart right now and they say, hey, yeah, we got a 100-inch TV. It's $22.90. All right, listen, I need it. Buyer's remorse prone. Why? Because you didn't check around. You would never do that, though. You never walk into Walmart, see one 100-inch TV, run your card, give them the cash, and leave with that TV. You would never do that. That's what you're doing with cars, though. That are 10 times and 20 times the cost of the TV. One price, 8 other Nissan dealers in a 100-mile, in a 30-mile radius. No, we're not going to check with none of them. 100 Nissan dealers in the tri-state area in the southeast. No, we ain't going to check. I'm going to walk into 2. And then I'm tired. I think that's it. Y'all all got to be the same price anyway, right? No. So anyway, I think I beat that horse dead. All right, so listen, I wanted to make this, I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be away next week. That's why, today's Thursday, May 22nd, but we'll be away next week. I'm going to replay the show over and over again, and all the shows we did this week, we'll be replaying them next week. So even if you're watching this, you'll understand that most of you have the same questions. Your questions about leasing, your questions about, is this car good? Your questions about, how do I know this? All of these are, that's why I think people stick around on the show, because even when they don't see their questions asked, they figure, oh, someone's going to ask the same question. So that's, again, why we rebroadcast these shows. But Dolan, you see any more? I know we had a bunch. And I think what I'll do, though, and I think Dolan knows this, because he's been, moderating my lives for well over a year now, I'll answer multiple questions in one question. So with YT, somebody was, hey, what about leasing in the mileage? So as people that may say, hey, Deshone, I thought they limit you on mileage. Well, once I'm going to YT, I'm already answering the question about lease mileage in his question, even though he didn't necessarily ask about lease mileage. So that's the way it works, because these things are kind of interconnected. You'll hear, oh, shoot, Deshone, thanks. You just answered my question. And that person didn't even ask it. But as I'm walking you through a process, I'm going to make sure you understand, you'll hear your question answered. So that's it. I think we're good for today. I do invite you all to continually tap in with us here, continually watch our videos, because what you're going to see is we have a patented system here. None of the stuff we teach is recycled. In fact, I think in our book we probably have at least 10 things that are trademarked, that literally are going to be 8-year rule of 72 and the 10th birthday, the perfect budget calculator, true value discount on used cars, from a new car price to a used car offer. That's all that matters. Does not matter what people are asking for their used car. It only matters how much it was when it was new and how much they're asking for it now and what that discount looks like. Everything else is a made up arbitrary number that doesn't matter. How do we know $22,000 for this price? This car is good. Is that a good price? But if I know that you're offering me 44% off the original price, there's another Honda Accord down the road. They're only offering 30% off the original price. There's another Honda Accord over here that I like, and they're offering 60% off the original price, but it has 15,000 more miles, and I can now balance that and weigh that out. That's what matters. True value discount, counter offer calculators that we wrote. We have 5 calculators in my book that I created. We actually took the mathematical formula, wrote the code, created the calculators. You can't see them on Google. When you hear people saying, oh, I sent out all the counters, they're putting the offers into our counter offer calculators. The counter offer tells them what to send. So this is not recycled information, which is why you will never hear anybody. Deshone, I hear you talk about the 8-year rule, but I never hear any car people talk about it, because they probably are concerned that we might hit them with a trademark violation or an intellectual property violation, because they know that that's stuff that came specifically from us. Not that I would, because I want more of you to understand the 8-year rule, so you can stop buying cars that you're not keeping 8 years and you can start getting below market leases. So I would love for everyone to be talking about the 8-year rule. But that's why the stuff we talk about here it doesn't sound like anything that you hear from any of these other car people. We invented it. God gave it specifically to us. So, all right, well, everything in the show is sponsored by my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. I invite you to get your copy. Take advantage of the welcome offer, which is 75% off. You won't pay $97. You'll get yours for $24. It'll be in your inbox in 2-3 minutes. And you can grab yours in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. And for those of you who have a different learning style, if you want to actually work with me and shop for cars together for the rest of your life, you want to look at Shop with Deshone. That's our video checklist. And we have our private Facebook group, and we coach twice a month in Zoom. That's if your learning style is more done with you. You like a group. You do not need that. It's no different information in the book than it is in our video checklist. The only difference is some people like support. Some people like, okay, I want to ask a bunch of questions even along the way, or I might have 2, 3, 4 questions that I want to ask. It may not even be a lot. And then we have a community with 1,600 people in our Facebook group that have come before you. So this ship has sailed a long time ago. It's a yacht. It's a beautiful yacht. We're on it, celebrating every single time we get a car, and we invite more people onto the ship. And for those of you who would like us to shop for you, see if you qualify for done for you, cars from home done for you. You can book a call with our team. It's a free 10-minute call. See if that's right for you. But we only shop for leases and new cars, and your FICO scores must be over 670. FICO scores, not Credit Karma. Okay, because when we actually take these deals down for you in 5, 7 days, 2 weeks, most of our deals right now we're closing in about seven days, and you can do that too. So even with the book, this is not something that should take you. Again, this ain't car shopping school, y'all. You should be getting to these cars in 7 to 10 days. Once you decide what you want, 7 to 10 days. So, but yes, new cars only, leases only, and FICO scores over 670. So other than that, I think we are good. It's been a pleasure. I'll tap back in tomorrow. I am going to do one more live show because I want to have plenty to rebroadcast next week. I don't know what time I'm going to come tomorrow, but I certainly will pop in live tomorrow for probably another 90 minutes. All right. So pleasure, everybody. God bless you. Continue to unlearn, continue to relearn, and just understand how much money is in these cars. And I want you to know where all of it is, all the hidden money. Okay, God bless y'all. See you soon. Big Mike, welcome to the crew. I see you, new follower. Welcome. See you soon.